Good morning, people in the south, my people in the east. How are you doing? And my dudes in the west, good afternoon. My fellow entrepreneurs in the north, how you guys doing? How is it up there in the north? Apparently it's hot. Apparently it's hot. That's why the World Cup is taking place in the north. Um, there's three countries that are hosting the World Cup currently. Soccer World Cup. And apparently it's quite hot up there, and down here it's the opposite of, it's the flip of that, here in the south. And and yeah, that's I haven't been doing this for some time. So most of the videos that we have recorded um, were uploaded, so we have to start doing some more recordings so we can have a stack of our videos done and ready for uploading. So for those who have came through to our channel for the first time, thank you very much for being part of this. We appreciate you and we see you. And for those who have found value in what we're delivering, thank you very much, and share the value. Take the value and share it amongst yourselves and other people. And my last episode, no, the two episodes before this one, excuse me, I have I have recorded an episode on, before I started recording. I ate a sauce. I had a sauce. That sauce was hot, very very hot, and I didn't know. I bought the sauce on the app, on a online app. Online, I bought the sauce online, and I didn't know I was buying hot. And then I put the sauce on the food that I was eating before I started recording. And just before I started recording, I finished off the food, and everything went through, and I thought I'm done eating. And then the sauce didn't come back on me and held me with my throat. So the entire episode I've been doing this thing, and I watched that episode, and it was quite irritating, and I would like to apologize for that. And I didn't want to tell the story at the time, but I think it's important for me to relate that story, because that might have irritated some of my viewers, even though I don't have a lot of viewers. But the two of you who have viewed the video, it's fine. Excuse me. You see? Yo. No, let me redo this thing. Should I redo this thing? No, let's carry on. Let's carry on. So I kept on doing this thing because of that source, and it was quite irritating as I was watching the video. Normally I record the video and I watch it just to get some more insight and content from that very video. So what I do is, I'm not going to share my secret. I'm not going to share my secret. But what you must know is that I watch all of the videos that are uploaded. I watch them just to understand what I was saying. Sometimes when you record, you don't hear yourself. Sometimes your English gets a bit confusing. You forget your words. You mumble your words. You put past tense where it's supposed to be present tense. You forget an S at the end of your word, and then the word loses, or the sentence loses its meaning, and so on. So it's important to listen to yourself, especially. I learned this from a long time ago, especially if you're a facilitator like myself, so that you can work on yourself, sharpen your skill to present or to deliver whatever that you're delivering to your customers. I hope I was audible enough. I think my voice was too low. So I'm back again on the journey, you know. So today I'm going to speak about something that a lot of entrepreneurs do go through, and they experience this thing quite oftenly, and they tend to gravitate on something that they have learned or something that have made them stay in the entrepreneurship. But what I want to say is the fact that entrepreneurship, it's something that when I look at it from a distance, I think entrepreneurship, um, I I'm able to match entrepreneurship with life itself. You know, it's a complete life on its own, and it has its own teachings. You know, it can teach you a lot of things, and if you're not willing to learn, you might end up quitting. You might end up exiting the door. You know, because sometimes the teachings are very harsh, and they are very um, unbearable. You know, there's a phrase that says, if it doesn't break you, then you are not going to be compatible with it. So you need to sacrifice your comfort for it to break you so much that it is able to work with you. That's entrepreneurship. So it will embrace you, pour some little bit of Kellogg's for you to think it likes you, and then you go eat the Kellogg's and you think entrepreneurship likes you, and then you get closer and closer to entrepreneurship, and then it starts to break you, you know, break you into pieces. And if you can't bear the pain, you will quit. And entrepreneurship will never work with you if you can't bear that pain. So when it breaks you, you need to stay on. You need to stay on and keep on. If you can listen to most of my videos, when I start, I mostly emphasize staying on, pushing on, going on, and keep on going on. You know, that's what entrepreneurship is about. You need to keep on going, even if it breaks you. Because when it's done breaking you, it's not going to give you those color Kellogg's that it was giving you just to get you closer. No, it's going to give you the entire box. So you can choose what you eat from the box. Because in the box, it's not only the Kellogg's, you know, it's a multiple on the wide range of other cereals that you can choose from. You understand what I mean? So if it doesn't break you, it's definitely not going to work with you. It has to first break you. And for it to break you, you have to let go of your comfort. You know, that's entrepreneurship. So today I want to talk about the struggles of entrepreneurship, specifically for me in my business life. So the struggle in entrepreneurship is specifically for me in my business life. So I'm going to refer to myself a lot. But as I do that, I know a lot of people will relate with me or relate with my business life for you to understand this phrase. If it doesn't break you, it won't be able to work with you. You have to allow it to break you into pieces so that it can work with you, you know, it can work with you. So, hey, that felt nice, you know, to work with you. it feels like you just wake up and it just starts working with you, you know, only to realize this is a process. There's a process that you go through before it can work with you, you know. So the breaking part doesn't start from the beginning. In the beginning, it gives you some little bit of crumbs of Kellogg's, and you think, this entrepreneurship likes me. And then you get along, you get closer. Once you get closer, it catches you. And then I hope when I do that, you imagine and visualize this thing. And it catches you, and then it breaks you, and it breaks you into pieces, and then it starts to break you into more little pieces that it can be able to work with you, you know, and then it starts working with you, you know. So that's what happens with entrepreneurship. So when I started, I think our parents taught us to be entrepreneurs in indirectly, specifically my mother. My mother taught us because I'm the second born. So my sister and I used to sell a lot, and I still believe even today that I was better. I was a better seller than my sister. I believe so because I was selling out a lot than her. And if you sell out, it means you're bringing in a little bit more than the ones that did not sell out. So did not sell most of the products, not sell out. You see, English, you need to understand where to put certain words because a sellout it has multiple meanings and some meanings are just negative. So I don't mean that sell out, I mean the product selling out. So my sister used to sell with me. We used to sell a lot together. And my sister, I believe, is still selling even now. That entrepreneurship thing is still in her, even though sometimes some people might deny the thing. I'm not saying my sister is denying it. My sister is not. Is actually acknowledging that she's a seller. She's an entrepreneur because even now she still got that thing to sell. So our parents taught us. I'm just going to say our parents because it was not one parent, but my mom most specifically or particularly my mom was the one who had this entrepreneurship more in her than my dad. So my mom was a seller. My mom was an entrepreneur. My mom was a hustler. My mom was selling everything, almost everything. If she was around now, I think she would be owning one sustainable, strong business by now. So, in primary school, when I first started to learn this entrepreneurship thing, my mom was already selling in our primary school. During breaks, she would come and sell some quotas. This is back in 1988, 89, 90. She would come and sell some quotas, some Zimba chips, a couple more things that primary school learners would prefer to buy during break times. And then in the morning when we go to school, she would pack those packets of Zimbas that we've prepared the night before in these big bags. She would fill up those bags with the packets of Zimbas for me and my sister. And then me, by break time, I would be sold out. Me. And then my sister would still be here. If this was the size of the bag, she would still be here. I would be sold out. My bag would be folded, because my mom would come during break time to sell, then I'd take the money and the bag to her. And then she knows that every break time I would come sold out. That was me. And I was around I think I was around 9, 10, 10 years old. 9, 10 years old. Let me just say 8, 9, 10 years old, because I was very smart with money. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's just talent or my intellectual was on another level. Because my mom, when I became aware of my surroundings, my mom was silly, so she would bring money at home, put the money on the money was mostly in coins. We hardly saw banknotes at the time. So it was mostly coins, and the coins at the time started by 1 cent. 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, 20 cents, and so on. So she would bring a lot of coins home. I think those coins, even though they did not make up a lot of money, but they were a lot because people were buying with 5 cents, were buying with 3 cents, 2 cents, 1 cent. And then I didn't know how to count. My sister knew how to count money, and I envied her to know how to count money as well, because my mom would task her to count money. And then she would pack the money in categories of 10 cents, 1 cent, 2 cents. And then she would say, here it's 1 rand, here it's 50 cents, here. I would just pack the money, I didn't know what it means, but little did I know that I was learning how to count money. And I envied this thing so much that I quickly learned how to count money. And I became more better in arithmetic than the arithmetic that they teach us in class. So, especially in counting money, So, I used to do that a lot, and then that's how I learned how to count money, how to subtract the 50 cent from 1 rand, 20 cent from 50 cent, how much the change would be, and so on. I learned that quite quickly, and I became the best in that. And then my mom started to trust me. And then when I went selling, in most cases, I wouldn't allow bigger coins, because they would send me to school to sit down and start counting how much is the change, how much, so I don't rob myself. So even the learners as well, they wouldn't bring a lot of big coins. So they would bring exactly the same amounts that I'm anticipating. And that's how I got to get used to this entrepreneurship. And then I got very, very, very best. Actually, I became the best in selling at school. And I don't think there was a child of my age who could sell like me. I remember one day, I never forget this day. I never forget this day. They combined all our classes. I think I was in standard one. Standard one, it's grade. What is standard one? What is standard one? Standard one should be grade. It's grade R, grade one, grade two. Yeah, it should be grade two. Yeah, standard one is grade two, something like that. Standard one, like the beginning, and they combined all our classes. I don't know what's wrong. What was wrong with the other learners' classes, or they wanted to use the space. I don't remember, but they combined, I think, 3 classes in one. So it was all standard one learners in one class. We were a lot. And then I got an idea to stand up and start selling. I sold out. Within an hour, I was sold out. Way before break time, I was sold out, and the kids wanted some more. I went to find my sister. I found her, and then she gave me her stock. I sold out the stock. During break time, all our stocks were sold out. That's how I don't remember, I don't forget this day. I remember this day quite vividly. Of all my entrepreneurial youngest days, or young days of my entrepreneurial journey, I mostly remember that day. Sold out everything. By break time, I was sold out. I was done. My sister was done with that. And that day, I fell in love with selling because it felt so good. Do you know how much good you feel when you sell out your stock? Do you know how that feels when people love what you're selling and they come and buy, and your stock sells out quite quickly? It feels so good. And then from that day, I fell in love with selling. I always look forward to sell more. But unfortunately, I couldn't open the entire store, so it was just the Zimba chips that I was selling, different assorted of Zimba chips that I was selling. So that's what happened. Then the next thing, my mom saw a potential in me, and saw that, or realized that I'm quite good, and she tested me. She sent me to go sell at her corner market stall. So she had a stall at the corner market, and then I went there. First day I went there, um, I didn't do exceptionally well, but because I was still scared. When you sell there, there's tactics that you use. You don't just sit there and wait for people to come. There's tactics that you actually use to attract your potential buyers, because that place was sort of a mini taxi rank where a lot of people were getting off at that spot. A lot of people were catching taxis at that spot. So they would come buy fruits, vegetables, eggs. We were selling a lot of boiled eggs and stuff like that. So that's when I refined my skills to talk to customers without without actually talking to them. So you talk to them emotionally. Yeah, I learned how to do that. Some people would go around outside the building of the store and sit outside next to their window, and then they communicate with customers directly, vocally. Come. Some people will just sit outside, and when the customers come, then they go, ah. Some I stayed inside, and then I stuck my head out of the window. My head was always over the vegetables, out of the window. I was like waiting to catch my prey. Then I learned the skill to catch these guys. I was unstoppable from there. And from that moment going forward, then my mom started to trust in my skills. And every time when it's a weekend, they already know who's going to the corner market. It was always me. The corner market is still there, even today. I'm talking things from 1987, 88, 89, 90, 91. Yeah, the corner market is still there. Even today, there are people who are still selling. And the people who are selling there today, it's the grandchildren of the people who used to sell there during our time. So that is the journey that I walk in entrepreneurship. So I refined my skills through certain things that I never thought I was refining my skills. So if you're an entrepreneur out there and you're thinking, this is not for me, go back and revisit your childhood experiences. You will see the things that you used to do that you think you can't do now, and you used to do them quite well, and you think today you cannot do. And that is the actual blueprint of yourself. And those are the things that you can become. Those are the things that you can do today. And then later, I joined a network marketing business. Network marketing business that I was part of for over a decade. And the business was about recruiting people into the business. So we were selling insurance products. Basically, we were selling insurance products in the form of network marketing. I had to study the system. I had to understand how the system works. I had to make sure that everything that you are being told to do, you do while you're applying your own skills. And this time around, we are not selling things that people are used to, especially our people are not used to such things. So I had to have a mentality of incorporating my younger self into this system. I had to introduce my a little bit older self into the system, apply all of myselfs into the system, because I'm going to meet different types of people. So I applied all those skills that I had to recruit people that I think will build my team in the network marketing space. And I did exactly that, and I did very well. Like I said in a couple of episodes, if you want to know more, you can visit some of my episodes, especially the episode that I made about failures and the episode that I made about my successes. I speak about network marketing a lot. I've got awards, not just certificates or awards. I've got awards from the network marketing space. Some of them are here on the right hand side of my office. I plug them on the wall. Some of them are here where I put my ornaments. I put some of them are in other places where I don't have space to put them. I will create some space to have all of them in one space where they can be visible and stuff. So I think I did very well in that space as well. I did better than other people who became part of the system. And I applied my younger self, I applied my little bit older self, applied my current self at the time. So I had my three selves in one, and to see how the system can be executed and done in a very short space of time. So that's exactly my journey as an entrepreneur. And it did not just start now and I just decided I'm going to do this because I saw someone doing it and I'm interested or something like that. It's something that I started at a very young age, very, very young. I was very young at the time. Then I moved to currently I'm now say for the first time in my life I'm a fully fledged entrepreneur. Not selling stuff while going to school. I'm not doing network marketing business while going to corporate job or doing a corporate job. It's just me doing my thing in entrepreneurship alone, nothing else. And I just want to see how this can come about. And I see most of these I see most of these um, experiences coming handy, coming into play, because everything that happens in our lives, it happens for a reason. So whatever that I went through, I'm able to tap into that blueprint, read the blueprint, and apply the blueprint. So it works. It works for me. So go back, revisit yourself again. You will find yourself where you came from. That's exactly you. Whoever or whatever that you're looking for, it's just there around you. You just don't notice it. And now I'm in the space where I do a lot of pitching in this current business that I'm doing. I do a lot of pitching in my current projects. These pitchings that I'm doing are, 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 are challenges that subject a lot of entrepreneurs who have never been exposed to situations where you have to stand in front of people and start talking about something that makes sense. And the experience that I had comes in handy because during my network marketing times, I was a presenter in the business. So I was trained as a presenter. I was trained how to stand in front of people and make sense of a product, make sense of a system, make sense of, present something, paint a picture of something that people don't know and they're seeing it for the first time. And the pitching things that I'm going through now, the pitching streak that I'm going through now, it's something that I've done a lot of times, hundreds of times before. So the only thing that is left within me, it's luck. Because sometimes you pitch very well, but the people that you're pitching to are just not looking for you. They are just not looking for your business. They're looking for something else. And they will give their own reasons why they can't take you. So this is me, whom I have applied in these businesses that I've been through, because the experience that happened when I was young, somehow the universe knew that I'm going to need this business to build and grow this entity that I'm growing now. And whatever that happens in your life, wherever you are in your life, whatever stage that you are in your life, it's exactly where you're supposed to be. If I had to sell Zimba chips at primary school, some kids saw me as a kid that is struggling, a kid that is always selling, a kid that is always working alongside his mom, a kid that is always selling alongside her mom. Would be my sister as well. Some of us saw us struggling, saw us only to realize now that was what the kids were supposed, or where the kids were supposed to be, or what the kids were supposed to do. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, it's exactly where you are supposed to do. I'm gonna give another example before I go. I'm gonna give another example about. I'm just gonna think about quickly a business that I can name, which has made its way from the trenches to where it is now. Let me think. McDonald's. I know McDonald's story, not inspiring enough. What other story is there? Ackerman story. Ackerman story is not inspiring enough. It's inspiring for other things, not what I'm talking about. I want something in line. Something that will relate to what I'm saying. There's a Colonel Harold story, the KFC story. Not quite in line with what I want to attach here. There's a guy in South Africa called Chipam Bengezi. His name is Chipam Bengezi, if I'm not butchering it. Chipam Bengezi. He owns a professional soccer club. Chipam Bengezi owns a professional soccer club. I heard this story before. I'm not sure how true is the story towards the end, but I trust the source of the story. Chipa owns a soccer club that is playing in the professional soccer league in South Africa called the Betway Premiership, and the club is called Chipa United. So apparently, Chipa started in a township where he had nothing. He had no employment. He was like any other guy in the streets. They would wake up and stand in the corners of their street, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go. And one day, Chipa got an idea after he saw a trolley from one of the big retailer shops being pushed around the township. And he realized that there's not just one, there's a couple more trolleys. And then Chipa went to that retail store and asked to speak to the manager or the supervisor, and they gave him someone, and he spoke to that someone about the trolleys, that he is seeing a lot of their trolleys in the township. So he would like to collect the trolleys for them. So every time he sees the trolleys, he would collect and take them to the store. Remember, these trolleys are assets to the store, to the retail store. And as he does that, he's actually helping the store to recover the lost assets. And then Chipa started doing that after he was given a go ahead. And he collected these trolleys, and somehow I think he expanded on this, and he went to other townships or locations to look for similar trolleys, and then he would collect. Trolleys are labeled, so you can clearly see this one belongs to that retail store. And then I think he grew his approach with other retail stores as well, and it became his reputable business. And Chipa started to make money through this. And then later, I don't know how he grew that money. I don't know how he grew his money. And he later bought a small team from his township. And then he started to work on this small team. And he started to immerse himself into understanding this soccer business. And then he later got the team into the lowest division of the Premier Soccer League. So he got the team in that lowest division. He got the team up the ranks. The team was promoted to the next level of the divisions, still in the lowest divisions, until his club got promoted to the first division of the Premier League, which is the Betway Premiership. And then he got, I think at the time it was ABSA Premiership. And then Chipa got his team, Chipa United, in ABSA Premiership. Today, ever since Chipa qualified for the Premier, the first division, he never got relegated. Never, ever. Even today, Chipa is still playing in the Premiership, in the first division of the Premiership. He never got relegated. Other teams came and went, they came and got relegated, and Chipa is still there. Sometimes he gets towards the relegation area, and then he avoids it, and he never gets relegated. But the moral of the story is, sometimes you need to align yourself with what the universe has built you to do. Sometimes whatever that you were built to do is hidden behind the trolley. It's hidden behind the trolley that is stolen from a store, a retail store, only for you to realize that had it not been of the trolley, I wouldn't have been the owner of this team. Chipa today is the chairman of professional soccer team. He employs a lot of people. He hires coaches. He hires technical team. It's a big entity. It's a big establishment today. He's got professional players playing. Some of the players played for the national team as well, that plays in his team, in his club. So basically, I was just saying that the entrepreneurship or the entrepreneurs in general, they don't like or they don't want the process of being taken through the learning. They don't like the process of entrepreneurship to break them so it can work with them. They don't like that. And that's just how the universe is. That is just the law of the universe. There's no any other way. If you don't like the universe to work with you and break you so it can work with you better, there's no way that you'll be able to work with entrepreneurship. So don't forget to subscribe. There'll be a pop-up here. Just click on the pop-up and click subscribe. Be part of this so we can share this information and work together towards building ourselves, because we're all learning and we're growing ourselves through the learnings that we learn. So until next time, I will see you next week. Next week.